given, and it's also
Day. It's never been
putting the squeeze. They're making money on
excessive materialism and militarism. We know full well that racism is still that hound of hell.
Hey, it's Sandy. I know it's been a while, and this is not how I wanted to start season 3. In fact, I'm pretty sure this is not how any of us wanted to start 2020, which seems to be the worst season of all of our lives. We're living through something for the history books, and it is not a fun timeline to be in right now. Last year was a whirlwind of events. I was producing and showrunning a pilot, which is why Now in Color had to take a brief hiatus. I promised I was always going to come back. Every day, I was working with an awesome team of storytellers and artists, and we just poured our hearts and soul into it. I don't think I truly understood what a labor of love meant until working on this project. There were very high highs and the lowest of lows, but we were all in love with this project, and that's all that mattered. Oh, and best of all, I got engaged. So not only was I planning a wedding for 2020, but also producing a pilot to begin production in 2020, which are two major events until this pandemic completely upended all of our lives. And like the rest of the world, we were ordered to shelter in place. The city I loved became the epicenter of COVID-19, and all its vibrant energy of possibility became one of constant anxiety. I needed space and time to grieve over what life was, what it could have been, and what it may eventually become. I'm not one of those people who can bury themselves in work without really processing what's happening around me. Also, I'm sure you've seen all the productivity propaganda on social media, and I just want to say, fuck that. Take time to grieve, or it will rear its head in other, oftentimes uglier ways. For those who have listened to Now in Color since the beginning, you know that this podcast was born out of grief over what could have been. But you also know that it became a space to hold on to hope from the power of stories and bring both old and new voices back to the forefront. While we are all still grieving over what could have been, we're also holding on to the exciting possibility of what could be. So whether you're sheltering in place or fighting in the front lines, I hope you don't lose sight of what could be. We will get there, even if it seems impossible. And there will be days where I also don't think it's possible. But I know history will be on our side. Our stories will be told, and that's how we will live on. So, thank you for listening and tuning back in. Welcome to another season of Now in Color. I'm your host, as always, Sandy Chang.